Hey guys, welcome to the Fighter Replay. I'm your host, Rob.
And I'm Kay.
Today we're going to get into UFC Fight Night, Almeida versus Derrick Lewis. Before we leave y'all out, we need to give a quick shout out to some of these fighters on the preliminary cards. First fighter up that we want to give a shout out to is Mark Diakis. That guy is a fucking dog. We always appreciate watching him fight. Angela Hill.
Hell yeah.
We love Angela Hill. Vitor Petrino. He is a dog. He is a monster. We cannot wait to see him in there and destroy his opponent. And Daniel Marcos, the dude who is just crazy. We have in the middleweight division, we have Rodolfo Vieira versus Armin Petrosyan. I think Armin Petrosyan is kind of average. I think Rodolfo is the better mixed martial artist. I see him getting a submission win. Rodolfo is not necessarily the best on the feet, but he can hold his own, especially against somebody who's not really, amazing. Armin's not amazing on the feet. I think he's just kind of average everywhere. Rodolfo has skills on the ground. I think he could pull off I think he could either get a decision or like a late third round submission.
Yeah, I gotta agree on this one. I think Vieira is gonna take home a sub. All respect to Armin, but Armin is just he's well-rounded. He knows his basics around the cage, but he doesn't really stand out in striking, and his grappling is definitely not to the level of Vieira's. So if Armin stays on the feet and has good takedown defense, I can see it going to a decision. If he gets down on the ground, I see Vieira getting a sub pretty fast. In another middleweight bout, we have Kyle Borrahal versus Abus Magomedov. This is going to be a good close fight. Abus is definitely the more skilled and more vetted martial artist here, but Borrahal, he's coming up. He's definitely on the right track. He has 11 fight win streak right now. He has 8 finishes on his record. He's a good, well-rounded mixed martial artist. So if Kyle can get on him early on, I think that's the biggest threat for Magomedov. If not, I sadly see Magomedov coming off with a win here, either by a finish or a decision win. But Magomedov, he's recently coming off that loss to Strickland, and them Russian motherfuckers don't take a loss lightly. So he's going to be coming with everything that he's got, and Kyle gotta be ready for that.
I think Abus is overrated as hell, and I think he got paired. I think he got a highlight reel against a dude, Phil Hall, who's not even really that good. And I think that Burrow, what the fuck you say his name? I think this guy's a rising star. I think he's going to run through Abus. I think Abus will get his ass kicked.
Next up, we have our first heavyweight bout of the main card. We have Rodrigo Nascimento versus Jailton Almeida. This is going to be a banger of a card, bro. Rodrigo has 6 first-round finishes, and his only loss was to Chris Daukaus, which, to be fair, that isn't the greatest dude you could lose to, but hey, nonetheless, he's coming out here to brawl. Jailton Almeida, I think Jailton Almeida is going to take this one. He's coming off of a KO victory. He's got 7 KOs on his record. I think this is going to be competitive, but only to a point. I think the first person that hits hard is going to be going down, and I think it's going to be an early finish to this fight.
I think Jailton Almeida is probably going to be the winner on this one. I don't think that Rodrigo's really that great. The fact that you lost to Chris Daukaus, man, I don't got no faith in you, my boy. I'm never betting on you, bro, ever. So, yeah, I think Jailton Almeida is going to probably get a first-round finish because, this is an heavyweight. This could either be a first-round finish or it could be a fucking wrestle fest for 3 rounds and boring as fuck. Hopefully that ain't the case. Especially won't be the case for this next fucking banger. And Gabriel Bonfim versus Nicholas Dalby. I think this is going to be very, very competitive. Nicholas Dalby is really fucking good. He is fun to watch. Don't let his age fool you. He's 38 years old, yes, but that dude can fucking fight. This is going to be one of the biggest tests for Gabriel Bonfim. This is going to, in my opinion, really, truly see what Gabriel Bonfim is made out of, you know. I think that Gabriel Bonfim comes out with the win. However, I think it'll be by decision, but this is going to be a hard fight. I don't see this being easy for neither one of these guys. So I think this fight is going to be I think this is going to be really, really competitive. Probably the most competitive fight on the card.
I gotta agree with you. This one is definitely gonna be a fucking bloodbath. I mean, no doubt about it. Bonfim, he's got all finishes on his record. He's a submission artist. But Nicholas, man, he's got the heart of a fighter. Like, that man knows how to push through in any position around the cage, stand up or on the ground. So I definitely see this going to a decision. If not an early round 1 stoppage because somebody wasn't entirely there yet and somebody moved the pace really, really fast. But other than that, I think these guys are going to give each other the respect that they deserve, and the fact that these are some dogs and this could really turn into a dog fight if they wanted to. But I think this is going to definitely go to a decision. I don't know who's going to win the decision. I think that honestly depends on just who shows up that night. But my personal opinion, I'd want to see Bonfim win. You know, the Bonfim brothers. I want to see these bros walk out with dubs. You know, I feel like that would be just a nice family sentimental moment. And even though I'm not part of the family, we really are part of the family.
Oh God, bro, we watched these motherfuckers really like blossom into the fighters that they are, bro. I remember watching their fights on the Contender Series and every other fight that they've had. And on the Contender Series, I remember just thinking, wow, these guys are going to be superstars.
Literally, they're going to be the face of the UFC in a few years. Just mark our words.
Babyface is a bit crazy, but definitely a top contender.
Top contenders for sure.
As we all know, the face of the UFC is our boy, Derrick Lewis, in the main event, who's going to be fighting Jailton Almeida. Kaylin, let me get your thoughts on this.
Man, we got the Black Beast back at it. Coming off the Jorge Masvidal knee TKO win. That was crazy to watch. Crazy to watch.
Don't call that shit the Jorge Masvidal knockout. That was disrespectful to Derrick, because Derrick's knockout was 10 times better, because he knocked out a dude who could actually fight and who wasn't a 40-year-old bum.
Fair point.
I understand what Ben Askren did and won, but that's when he was in his prime. He came into the UFC at 40 years old and won a fluke. He was not good. Derrick Lewis, the mythical beast, bro. Derrick Lewis with abs is a whole different type of beast we ain't never seen before. After we were heartbroken by seeing Choney get choked to sleep, we seen Derrick Lewis running that motherfucker, throw that flying knee, and all of us fucked up, bro. I think that Derrick is going to get I don't know what round, because he's unpredictable, but I think Derrick Lewis get the TKO win. I think Jailton Almeida has better skills on the ground, but Derrick Lewis is so strong that he actually just gets the fuck up. Like, you have to take him down at least like 15 times before you're able to have any type of success. I don't think Jailton Almeida is going to be able to do that, because Derrick Lewis is just, you can't fight Derrick Lewis like how you fight a regular heavyweight, bro, because that dude is just built different. I think that, honest to God, Derrick Lewis said that he thinks he could get a submission win in the first round. I'm riding with that. If he fucking says so, I fucking say so too. Derrick Lewis, first round submission. I'm down for it, bro. If he says so, I say so.
I think that would be the best moment of the year. Like, possibly fight of the year, if Derrick Lewis comes out with, what was it, a heel hook that he said he would get him in the first round?
Yeah. That's great. I think our skills match up pretty well, especially on the ground. Like, man, I love Derrick, bro.
I love Derrick, don't get me wrong. He's definitely one of my favorite characters in the UFC. But, man, this is going to be a tough fight for him. You know, don't get me wrong, Derrick always has that dog in him, and I definitely think he's going to bring it to Almeida, but Jailton, he's young, man. He's young. He's on a 14-fight win streak right now. He's on fire. He's coming off of a round 1 sub to Rosenstruck, and that's going to be tough to match. Almeida's a black belt. That's going to be tough to move around with. And, Almeida's already in great, phenomenal shape. It's definitely going to be a big problem for Lewis. But it's going to be a good test for him. I really do believe this is going to be a good test for him. Derrick's definitely got the experience in his corner. But, man, if I had to put my money on somebody, I'm not even going to lie to you, I think I'd have to go with Almeida. But I love Derrick Lewis, and to see Derrick Lewis win up against Almeida would make my year. That would make me feel complete with my heart, complete with the night. That would make me over the moon happy. But in a real world, I think Almeida gets this.
My counter argument to that is that motherfuckers are saying the same thing about Curtis Blades, bro, before he ran into Derrick Lewis. Bro, people were saying that Curtis Blades was going to be the one to beat John Jones if he ever moves to heavyweight. They said Curtis Blades was going to beat Stipe. They said Curtis Blades was the future. And look what the fuck happened the second that motherfucker went for a takedown on Derrick. And that nigga got knocked the fuck out. I don't think it's going to... Derrick is known for ruining hype trains, bro. He's going to break this man's heart. And you know what? When Derrick Lewis gets that TKO win, I'm going to send you a text saying, I fucking told you so. Don't you ever doubt my boy. Let's make a bet. If Derrick wins, don't ever doubt my boy again. I don't care if he goes against Jesus Christ himself. I got my money on Derrick.
That's a fair point. I would love to receive that text. I would frame that text and put it on my wall because of how happy that text would make me. But other than that, it's going to be a stacked night. Great UFC fight night. UFC really putting it out for the end of the year. So I can't wait. The events after this is going to be fire. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to upload some of those. We got 295 coming right after this. I think this is just a great fight night right before 295.
Yes, sir. It's fucking amazing. That's all we got for y'all tonight. We appreciate y'all. If you're listening, if you're not listening, who knows?
Go ahead and follow us on all of our socials to stay tuned for when we're posting next. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Or don't. We don't care.
You can't break me, I got iron bones. My ground game will leave your mind blown. I'm ready to fight in any time zone. I'm the greatest, you can call me John Jones. Knocking clowns out like I'm Stipe. We can even fight on the freeway. I'ma leave him bloody right where he lay. This is the Fighters Replay.